What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another late night in the Brew Lab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight in the Brew Lab, I'm coming at ya with some ladies in black. Another day, another control deck. And we are featuring Giza, the glorious Resurrector, in today's build. Before I dive into the deck though, I just want to go over a little piece of information that I came across today. Basically, control decks are a lot harder to build right now than I thought they would be. Let me explain why. Or at least this is what I found. Okay? I tried, the obvious ones, right? Dimir, Jeskai, Golgari. Those are the main ones, really, that... And of course Azorius, but I played Azorius yesterday, so it left kind of the other ones that I mentioned there. And and Esper, of course. So now, of those, the two that have three different colors, Jeskai and Esper, so red, blue, white, Jeskai, white, blue, black, Esper, man, like, not only does the mana base still feel really clunky and you just don't get the cards that you want when you want them, the lands that you want when you want them, so that you can play the cards that you want, which is of course a huge enough problem in and of itself. But what's the win con? Like, it was, of course, there's also Grixis, there's also Rakdos, that, these can all be, let's say, you could play control in almost every color combination, really, but they're less popular. I tried also Mardu. The thing is, most of the time, the win con, when you're playing a control deck, I say most of the time, not every time, but especially of late in Standard, is some kind of a really powerful planeswalker. The reason for that mostly is because you can run sweepers and have those sweepers hit the opponent's creatures but not your planeswalker. So you can run a bunch of sweepers, a bunch of removal, a bunch of counter spells, the typical things that make up a control deck. But then, okay, you've removed all of your opponent's threats and things, and then what? You still need to bring his life total to 0. And of course there's many ways of doing that, or to have the opponent lose the game. You don't just attack face, bring his life total to 0. There's plenty of other ways to win, but I was struggling. The new really cool sweeper in Mono Red, the Burn Down the House, does typical Mono Red sweeper things. It also hits your planeswalkers. All of Storm's Wrath that we've had, and right back into historic, like the type of sweepers that Red has hit your planeswalkers as well, unless they're very low to the ground, like Cinderclasm or something like that, which doesn't quite do the job as a proper sweeper against bigger creatures. So okay, then I hope I'm not coming across I'm not coming across as confusing, but yo Mal, welcome to the stream, brother. I just was struggling to find a win con. Like, I tried all sorts of different things, like, should I just run only removal and play a bunch of really powerful creature lands and attack face with those? Do we put in some of those cards that say, like, when certain conditions are met, you win the game? and then just control the board to the point where we can get that condition to happen. And we'll be looking at some of those attempts over the next couple of days, but it just doesn't feel that good. And I also didn't want to just play old cards, because the Planeswalker that's been working really well in what I just said earlier, this control the board, slam down a really powerful Planeswalker and make the Planeswalker the win con. You can just win with Professor Onyx's Magecraft or the -8, and that's your win con, and you just control the field until Professor Onyx is in play. But we've seen that already, lots of that. Like, I've done decks like that, and every other content creator has as well. Strixhaven is 2 sets back. We've seen Professor Onyx. I wanted to do something new. And so, I don't know, I honestly really struggled today to come up with something new and unique and cool that is a control deck and that is showcasing some new cards. So I settled in mono black, which is really quite familiar for me. I love this kind of deck, and all the cards in it I know and love and have played lots of and are familiar to me. So here we go, mono black control, the ladies in black, where we're featuring the only real new card is Giza, the Glorious Resurrector, which is a pretty sweet card. But we're also a Tergrid deck, and we're also a Professor Onyx deck. So we got the 3 ladies, they're all in black. So the ladies in black. And here we go. This is what I got for you tonight. I'm just going to do the usual. We probably know most of these cards at this point, but I'm just going to run through them quickly. And then, we'll jump into some gameplay footage and wrap up at the end with some final thoughts and see where the deck can go, if anywhere. At the moment, we're probably waiting on some pretty powerful cards in black from the Crimson Vow in November. I'm so excited for that set. There's definitely going to be a Vampire Planeswalker, more vampire-y synergies. I've kind of not done the vampire deck that everybody else has already done because it's pretty cookie cutter and it doesn't feel that explosive, if I've got to be perfectly honest. So anyway, enough blabbing. What do we got here? 3 copies Bloodchief's Thirst. Amazing removal spell. We all know Bloodchief's Thirst at this point. It's from the oldest set in Standard at the moment. It's so good. 1 mana, destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 2 or less. I don't think there's any planeswalkers with mana value 2 or less, but I guess they had to put that in there. But if you kick it for 4, you can destroy target creature or planeswalker, period. So really good. Then 3 copies of Duress. Okay, this is a new card. There's been reprints of Duress since time immemorial, but it's got new art. I love it. It's a Tergrid deck. We want him to discard things. It's also really good as a turn 1 player. You kind of know your opponent's game plan. You can play around his stuff. So yeah, definitely loving Duress in this deck. 3 copies makes perfect sense. Then we needed some access to the lesson board because I did want to run, not just Blood on the Snow as a way of getting back our things from the graveyard. I've also got 2 copies of Confront the Past to make sure that we're getting back our Professor Onyx from the graveyard if necessary. So ways of accessing the lesson board that we have in today's deck is 3 copies of Eyetwitch, 2 copies of Cram Session. Cram Session, when you have Professor Onyx in play, is insane because you gain 4 life plus another 2 life, so you gain 6 life, the opponent loses 2 life, and you get to learn. It's like a huge swing in life that can really save your ass in the late game. Then we've got 3 copies of Shambling Gas, just because we need more sacrifice fodder for the Deadly Dispute, which is our only card draw in the deck except for Professor Onyx's +1, and a singular copy of Introduction to Prophecy in the deck. Sprite 2, then draw 3 cards for 3 colorless. So we did need something other than Eyetwitch to sacrifice to the Deadly Dispute. So 3 copies of Shambling Gas. We all know this little package here by now. It's amazing. Then Deadly Dispute. Sacrifice a creature or artifact. Draw 2 cards. Create a treasure token. So if we're sacrificing the Shambling Gas to the Deadly Dispute on turn 2, we can create up to 5 mana of between our treasures and our lands on turn 3, which is ridiculous because you can play a Turgid on turn 3, which is what we're really trying to do here. Next up, it's cool that we're playing, and I'm going to get to Giza in a second, or let me explain her now. Okay, so if a creature an opponent controls would die, you exile it instead. So this is the same thing that happens with Valentin, the Dean of the Vein, and also with the Drog Necromancer, the snow zombie guy, that sits on the same point on the curve as Giza. And so that's pretty cool. No die triggers. Anything your opponent wants to do, like for example, sacrificing an Eyetwitch to learn, won't work with Giza on the battlefield because that card is going to get exiled straight away. Same with Shambling. Any die triggers, you're not going to get them if Giza is on the battlefield, so that's pretty sweet. And then at the beginning of our upkeep, you put all the creature cards that are exiled with Giza, Glorious Resurrector, onto the battlefield under your control. They gain Decayed. So they cannot block, they can only attack, and when they do, they get exiled. But that's okay, because, we're probably just trying to steal the opponent's big creatures and attack him with them at least once. They're not really there for blocking. So the reason why I'm not just only running, because this has always been my problem, when I played Turgid decks, where it says sacrifices or discards, whereas Giza says dies. So if you play Turgid, there aren't that many good sacrifice cards that you can use to control the board properly. You're going to need some destroy cards, some exile cards to do so. And so it was always this balance between like how many destroy cards, like let's say Poison the Cup and Bloodshea Surf, do I run so that we can still remove the opponent's creatures in the early game while we set up for Turgid in the late game. But then once Turgid is on the field, we do need ways for them to discard and sacrifice so that we can actually do the things that Turgid's supposed to do. And so having this 3-3 split between Turgid and Giza has made it so that I can feel quite happy splitting the discard and the destroy, because they both and sacrifice, because they both end up doing something for us, especially if we have both of them on the battlefield, which is kind of the dream. If we can get the full 3 ladies on the field tonight, at least once on stream, I'm going to be so freaking stoked. That'll be amazing, because of course Professor Onyx's -3 also gets an opponent to sacrifice a creature with power among with the greatest power among creatures that player controls. So if you have Turgid on the field and you -3, you can also get that creature onto your side of the battlefield with Turgid, which is great, and it won't have Decayed in that. Sacrificing is dying. This is something that I need to verify during the gameplay footage. If one of you guys knows the official ruling on this, kindly let me know, because if we have both Giza and Turgid on the battlefield at the same time, I guess we'll get to choose. No? You may put that card from exile. No. Sacrificing is essentially dying. I never really thought about that. That could be a fatal flaw in the deck. We're going to have to see. Because, for example, we have Giza and Turgid on the battlefield. I play a Soul Shatter. They sacrifice their Goldspan Dragon. Are we going to get the Goldspan Dragon on our side of the battlefield with Turgid because it died? Or does it get exiled because Giza is on the battlefield, and then in that case it comes back with Decayed? Not entirely sure. We're going to find out tonight, I'm sure. But then, last but not least, other than Professor Onyx, which I don't feel needs any more introduction, she's been played already a lot over the last 4 to 6 months, is Blood on the Snow. Because, we need a sweeper, and you can get your important creatures or planeswalkers back from the graveyard to the battlefield, and we can get there quite quickly with the treasure ramp from the Shambling Ghast and Deadly Dispute. So 4 copies of Blood on the Snow to bring back our Professor Onyx, to bring back our Turgid, to bring back our Giza, our Ladies in Black. And then, the typical snow package. I think all I'm going to do here is do this, Just as a last minute thing, just a one-off in case, you never know, might come in handy. One Field of Ruin. So that's the deck. We're just trying to get all three ladies on the battlefield, and shenanigans start to happen. We take all of our opponents' creatures and attack him with them. And if that doesn't work, we can always win with Magecraft or the -8 from Professor Onyx. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's jump into the games. If I could ask everybody who is watching this live or during the replay to consider subscribing to the channel if they have not done so already. I'm on the verge of breaking through into 200 subscribers, which is going to be a huge milestone for me. When I do, it will trigger a giveaway. The information for said giveaway are in the video description down below. Just scroll down past the deck list, past the Ether Hub links and all of that stuff until you reach a little heading that says giveaway information video. Click that. It'll take you to a YouTube video where you can learn about the giveaway and what it is that you need to do to take part and enter into the giveaway. It will be triggered when I'm so help me get there, and you might win something. To do all the other great YouTube stuff, it'd be terribly kind of you. Like, comment, and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of future daily uploads. Alright, now that that is out of the way, let's kick this mono green, guys. Yes! I hope mono green is so strong. It's the first time I played this deck, against mono green with this deck. Always play your Haven's Bird, so you can actually attack with them if necessary on turn 4. I doubt he'll attack. I mean, he might. I wouldn't if I were him. Although... that's enough land. Let's go scrying. Make a treasure and kill this wolf. Now, let's leave that there. Super laggy. Billy! Welcome back, brother. Thanks for joining the stream. Good to have you. A little bit of lag there, trying to fix it. Hope you guys aren't seeing it too badly on your end. I'm deciding whether, okay, let's gain some life, and let's get ready to get rid of this class. I'm okay taking 2 damage from the Sentinel. I want to keep this removal for his old growth troll or gnarled professor or whatever it is that he's got up his sleeve. Yeah, Lolthan, Deck of Many Things. Deck of Many Things was in this deck to begin with, actually. This is probably running Ren and 7, which has been a real nightmare with the chariot. That's a disaster. Blood on the Snow would be great. For crying out loud. Mono green is so obnoxious right now. It's so hard to beat. That's the thing I was also thinking about, you know, when my deck is, you know, what's... Oh, when building these control decks, it's like, what do we need to beat? We need to beat mono white, we need to beat mono green. Those are like the two real problems in the format right now. Sure. We're dead. No matter what you do, unless we get a Blood on the Snow off the top of the deck right now. Woo, baby! That is just the sweetest thing. What are the chances of that? So now, Blood on the Snow with Giza coming back. No, it doesn't work. Okay, this deck is total fail. Absolute fail. Did not do enough playtesting. I'm terribly sorry, guys. I think we're gonna do a full, like, turnaround here. And just swap deck midstream, because this deck is absolute crap. All of the things that I thought would happen, and I've, like, as I'm talking about them, come across two problems already. First of all, Giza and Turgid on the battlefield at the same time. They're kind of counterproductive. Second of all, he's just going to give it trample. Okay, so first time for everything on the channel. We're so close to Diamond 2. I actually got there with these control decks, but we need to adjust big time live. This is a bad idea, and I'll explain to you why in a second. Okay, first of all, I have a feeling that if Giza is on the battlefield and something gets sacrificed, Turgid isn't going to work. Second of all, I was thinking that Blood on the Snow would work with Giza in the same way that it does with the Draug Necromancer, because we bring her back to the battlefield, that the creatures that got swept with Blood on the Snow with Giza would end up exiled with Giza and then come back my following turn with Decayed, and that we just found out that is not the case. So this deck is a lot of rubbish, and we need to switch things up on the fly. So I'm just gonna jump into what I was saving for tomorrow and play Pest Massacre instead. Ta-da! I'm gonna have to rename the stream and upload a different deck to either hub at the end of the stream. So stuff that. Let us play some Pest Massacre instead. Terribly sorry. That's what you get for not playtesting enough. I played like 7 games of the deck, but I was very distracted today. We're like getting ready to leave to go back to Italy, and we had to go and do PCR tests for the aeroplane, and booking flights and packing bags and all that kind of stuff. So my bad. This one is running many cards that we already know. The only new card is the Meathook Massacre. Just basically took my pest deck from back in the day and instead of Bastion of Remembrance, I put in Meathook Massacre instead. Opponent seems to be playing some sort of teamer build. Lovely stuff. Four mana available. 23 with the Dork. Okay. Fine. Take 4. Another Florahedron. Wait, first we attack, get in that ton of damage, then I want to Village Rites it. Play another land. Play a Witherbloom Apprentice and replace the Dean. Opponent has 6 mana open, so it's probably going to be... Ooh, okay. I mean, Teamer ramp, what's he ramping into? Dragons, by the looks of things? Or is he just running this as a 3 damage spell, that's it? It'd be interesting to find out. Ramping into Aldrin's Epiphany. Interesting. Wow, horrible stream so far, ladies and gents. Not to worry. We live and we learn. And we keep on fighting. We never give up. We never surrender. We have to get to Mythic before the end of the month. if I don't, it'll be the first time I haven't in over a year. So it'll be a huge blow, but I have been on holiday, so I do have a bit of an excuse. Guzunguzu. I've played this guy before. Guzunguzu. That's a nice curve we got there. 1, 2, 3. Hedrons again. Guzunguzu. Down to 16. Okay, so it's Sultai. Hence the, Dinger. Probably Croaky's list on his stream today. It's 5 mana open. And probably a sword coming. Might be Aldrin's Epiphany though. Already. Insane. Nice. This card's fine, yeah? Totally fine. Such a busted card, man. Rain and 7 coming our way. Still got 2 mana available. Is he got a way of getting rid of our Venom Grasp? Okay. Thoughts. Wow. Sultai control. Huh? Interesting. Yeah, of course. Oh, God. This is where we need the Meathook Massacre, like, big time. Okay. I'm gonna take the damage. do have Containment Breach in the sideboard for the Chariot. I am so sick of this shit. There's only 22 lands in the deck. It's like ridiculous. Every time they have it. Every time. This is starting to become probably one of the best cards in Standard right now. Rapidly the most played. It's everywhere. If I top deck another land, it's game over. What we really want is guys, I mean seriously, like I actually don't know what to say anymore. Like every time I start streaming, it just turns to crap. I had such a good run today. I was almost in Diamond 2. I hit stream and shit goes wrong. It's just, you know. Murphy's Law. That asshole Murphy. I don't know, like, Mal, what I think is the best way to answer that, it's actually been plaguing me as well. It is why I'm on a control deck kind of spree right now, because I think that's what's going to be needed. But it's hard, man. Like, there's very little that gets rid of artifacts at instant speed. And Ren is just, wow, absolute house of a card. It's really being a huge problem. It runs away with the game too quickly. You're sitting there all happy. Next thing you know, life gain. There's you know, a Seeker's Chariot copies the, you know, gets crewed by the token and then makes another one. Suddenly you have like, you know, 2/6/6 with reach, plus their Seeker still there and all the cats and everything. It's really hard to beat. Interesting. Okay. No attacks. Nice. Opponent's playing some bullshit card that doesn't exist, so I'm okay with that. Nice Plum. Let's do it on the opponent's turn. I doubt he'll attack. And I don't know why he put all his mana into that if he saw I had a Containment Breach, but that's okay. Badoosh. Very nice. Okay. Let's do that again next turn. Even more. Trigger Mania, baby. Play Professor Onyx next turn. Or we can just Massacre. I think that should do the trick. Massacre for 2 should do the trick, no? 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it won't. Mm-hmm. 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 Probably discard one of these Village Rites and probably and a swamp. Let's get rid of 2 Village Rites. That's okay. We've got enough cards, I think. That should do it, no? No. It's getting a lot of life there. It's a nice addition to this life gain deck is Sunset Revelry, especially when you're falling a bit behind. God, triggers. Greatest power. Okay, that's great.
Open your books to pay.
Bye-bye now.
Sorry, you don't make grade.
Off you go. Opponent's playing the life gain deck. We're the one on 41. They're on 14. I agree, Todd. I'm actually in complete agreement with you on that.
Oh, there has to be an answer here.
It's gonna be ridiculous. Watch this. With the Professor in play. Oh, that's a GG right there. Got him. Didn't get to use the Massacre, but that was pretty sweet. I'm out of focus. Like the camera or the whole thing? 23 lands. Yeah, I think it's there's not much that needs to be changed here. I'm thinking just maybe one way to get Professor Onyx back. You just get rid of one Necrotic Fumes and put in a something the past, confront the past. Whoops. What do you think, Todd? Like, best way we have of dealing with that combo? Mal was also just asking. It's pretty tough. I'm struggling myself big time with this problem. Oh god. Turn 1 duress. Gotta love it. Bean in play. Blood Chief's Thirst. Yeah, this is a Turgid deck for sure. 100% guaranteed. Turn 2 play just goes down the bin. Mr. Stormscape playing full hand hate, huh? Okay. Maybe not too good. I really hope it's not. It's not snow though. This guy, man. Ay, ay, ay. What an asshole. Discard spells at every point on the curve. Mwah. Block. At least he's out of cards too. A lot of ways of drawing cards in the deck, so that should be okay. Case in point. God, we did that. Oh no, I did not see that. Bye-bye, Apprentice. That was a huge misplay. Sorry, guys. Huge misplay. Huge misplay. Did not see that. charming fellow this guy is. Another Strangler. It's definitely a Turgid deck. At this point, you've got to be joking, guys. It's starting to become like a joke on the channel, like just overflood of lands non-stop every turn. You've got to be shitting me, right? Like, this doesn't happen to everyone else, right? Watch us top deck another land. Just, man, sometimes I really wonder. Now it's got Ward Pay 3. He can't kill it without killing himself. Yes, you can. Seriously, guys. Wow. Unbelievable, this asshole. Let's get a Mascot Exhibition. That'll shine. This should do the trick, unless he's got a sweeper. Down to 1. Lol. He has to double block, which means we can finally kill his creature land and the gelatinous cube. Boop, 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 boop. Sorry, dude, with the really annoying list. We gotcha. Nice. Okay, we got time for one more game. After this, I'm going to jump onto Twitch for anybody who wants to come and join me over there. I'm just going to attack this problem again. You know, we need to get a control deck that's going to be good against mono white, Ren and 7 and the Seeker's Chariot and mono green. You know, it's a huge problem. I would love to hear your thoughts. Okay, so you get, I mean, yeah, really, but you saw that. I mean, it's happened to us like three times on one stream. It's just like 6 lands in a row, and you get a draw card, and then you draw another 2 lands, and it's just like, okay, thanks deck, top notch. Nice. this is the nemesis right here. The new adversary for white is so good. Brutal Cathar is so good. Man, they always just get the best cards, eh? Mono white is just even better than it was before. And it was already one of the best decks in the format before rotation. It's just, wow, ridiculous. They don't get card draw, they get everything else. Skyclave Apparition or Brutal Cathar. All their cards are three drops, pretty much. Oh god. He's got a Skyclave. We can Village Rites away whatever needs Village Riting. So busted, man. So freaking busted. This list is ridiculous. We don't have a sweeper for this. It's a GG. Let's just play it out, but I don't have very high hopes. Well, we do have the Massacre, but we need to cast it for 6. Seven. Fuck. Alright. That's going to be it for tonight, guys. Sorry about the horrible stream. That was an absolute fail boat. Just started off with the wrong deck that I did not play test properly, and ended up playing some pretty shoddy games with the Pest deck. These things do happen. You know, I had a very, very long day, as I said. It does sound like an excuse. Trust me, it wasn't. I had zero time to really look at the, you know, spend enough time brewing. I'm going to do so now after the stream, because now I've got time, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning in Portugal, but the wife and kid are asleep, the bags are packed, we're getting ready to leave to go back to Italy over tomorrow, the next day. We've still got to move apartments. It's things are going to get a little bit chaotic, so I didn't have a chance to conclude a proper control deck as I wished. Thank you so much, Billy, for the kind words. I'm glad you enjoyed it, but it was a good stream. The decks were kind of crap, so I'll be coming back at you tomorrow with some fresh brews. Those of you who want to join me on Twitch, do so. I'll see you there. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the Brew Lab signing out. Peace, y'all.